All right, my friends, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Let me push that mic out just a little bit more. Once again, my name's Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah, and it really is a spectacularly beautiful day. It's nice and cool out there. Day after a storm, which means that the mountains are capped with snow. It's just beautiful. If you don't live in Utah, you would hate it here. Don't move here. Stay where you are. On this episode, I'm going to talk about how to build mental strength. I'm going to do a brief overview. Somebody asked this question on Quora, Quora, where I do a lot of writing. And so I put it in writing in a long form. You can just find me over there. My name, Scott Carter, CMHC, over there, and you'll see my picture. I also just finished recording a podcast episode on this, on my episode or my podcast on healing masculinity. It's called Healing Our Masculinity Podcast. Go check it out, please. Go listen to it. So the long form is in podcast form. That episode is nearly 40 minutes long. This is just going to be a brief overview of how to build mental strength. But please, if you want more, guy, girl, or otherwise miscellaneous, whatever the case may be, if you want to learn how to build mental strength, then go head over and listen to that episode. Go check it out. It's actually uploading as I speak. It's uploading. It'll be there soon, but I will get it published here shortly after recording this video. So again, this is going to be a brief overview. Now, here's some of the things that people ought to understand about mental strength. Number one is without strength, you can't be happy. I'm convinced of that. The more I've become more strong, personally, mentally strong, physically strong, or otherwise, the happier or the more I find happiness is just more accessible to me. Whether it's right through personal relationships or work or whatever the case may be. I just find a lot more happiness through building strength. It's like problems will happen if you're weak, they'll topple you. But if you're strong, you're like, stuff happens. We'll get through it. We'll work through it. We'll find a way. We'll ask for help. We'll look up a YouTube video on it, and we'll get it figured out. Right? I'm mostly talking about a ongoing plumbing saga that I have in my kitchen. But without further ado, let me give you a brief overview of my list. And again, if you want the long version, go check out the podcast or on Quora. Everything that is going to help you build mental strength, okay, is going to push you outside of your comfort zone. So the number one thing is get outside your comfort zone, okay? But everything else is going to fall under that umbrella. Unfortunately, there are too many people these days that I find are extremely committed to their comfort zones. And comfort zones, the more committed you stay and attached, and the more attached that you are to your comfort zones, the more mentally unhealthy it's going to make you. And I found people that will accept really awful circumstances in their life, and the reason that they do is because, well, it's normal. It's what they know. It's what they come to expect. And normal can keep you very, very, very sick. So if you want to be mentally strong, you have to get outside of your comfort zones. That's just how it goes. It's required. It's mandatory. And I see so many young people. This is one of the things that really, really concerns me. In fact, I'm probably going to do a separate video on it, is how aversive they are to doing anything that makes them uncomfortable, anything, but that makes me uncomfortable. And I hear this from teenagers all the time, as though that's some sort of reason to, okay, well then just don't do it. That's so far removed from reality. For every single living person has to do things that make them uncomfortable. That's just the fact of the matter, okay? So let's get to this. I'm going to rapid fire this list. There's kind of a lot on this. If you go after the stuff on this list, it's going to give you plenty to do for quite some time. This will keep you busy for quite some time if you do this stuff, okay? Number one, build your physical strength. If you get physically stronger, you're going to get mentally stronger. So become more physically strong. Work on your health, okay? Number two, start adopting and practicing a mindset of learning. Learn new things. The internet is stuffed to the rafters of a bunch of know-it-alls who think they know everything about everything. And to me, that's self-destructive. It's a very, very self-destructive way to approach life and people and other things. And it's frankly narcissistic. To sit behind your computer or your phone and talk like you know everything about everything. Admit that you don't know, because you don't. Most of us don't know anything about anything, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Okay. Number 3, allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is sort of related. Allow yourself to not know. Allow yourself to admit that you don't know. Okay. So allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable with the people that are important to you that you know are going to take good care of your emotions. This does not mean allowing yourself to be vulnerable on Twitter. Don't do that. Okay. Absolutely do not do that. There's a bunch of sociopaths over there. Number 3, face your fears. This would be easily top 3 things on this list. Just face your fears. I could do a whole separate video about fears and anxiety, and I've done separate videos on this. But practicing courage, confronting your fears, and recognizing that there's no substance to them, that it's just emotion, and practicing courage. Okay. Number 4, this one is extremely important too. This is top 3, taking accountability and responsibility for your life. Stop blaming people. Stop pointing the finger of blame for the problems in your life. Stop complaining about them. When you do that, when you blame and complain, oh, I like that. That rhymes. I smell a meme. When you blame and complain, you give away your power and you become weak. Blaming and complaining makes you weak. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Stop it. Stop blaming. Stop complaining. Just stop it. It makes you weak. I promise you. I forget what number we're on. This is no particular order anyways. Set boundaries. The next one is to set boundaries with people. Okay. It's good fences make good neighbors. Set boundaries and have firm boundaries with people. This is very, very important. And frankly, another whole other topic, that would probably deserve its own video. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll make that video. Next one, this, I've already kind of mentioned this, but learn something new, learn a new skill, get out there and start learning how to do stuff. Maybe that means learning a musical instrument. Maybe that means carving a canoe out of a tree trunk. Maybe that learns how to be your own plumber. Learn new things. It's empowering. I mean, as a side note, I recently replaced my kitchen faucet on my own. To me, plumbing was like this wizardry that I knew nothing about. And I realized that getting a good plumber in a timely fashion was not feasible, nor affordable. So I took it on myself, and it turned out to be far less complicated than I thought it would be. So learn new things, learn a new skill. It will empower you. It will make you mentally strong. It will cause your brain to expand. This one would probably be another one of my other top 3. Become self-reliant. Become more self-reliant. Learn to do things for yourself. It staggers me the number of young people who can't even get their own food without getting it DoorDashed or delivered to them. The amount of people that I hear that just say, well, I don't know how to cook. And frankly, I love to cook. I've been cooking my own meals for decades, for at least more than 2 decades now. I cook at home mostly. It's easy. You can learn. It's not this crazy wizardry like plumbing is. But being self-reliant, right? Being able to depend on yourself for things instead of everybody else for everything. Learn how to do stuff and become more self-reliant. Next one, discipline. Become more disciplined. Again, very important. Whole other topic. One of the big things that troubles me that I see with a lot of people is the absolute lack of discipline. They just lack discipline. You lack discipline. It's from a South Park episode. And so if you want to build your mental strength, become more disciplined. Practice some discipline. Get disciplined. And as Joe Rogan pointed out, as well as Jocko Willink, if you don't know Jocko, go look him up. He's awesome. I love Jocko. As they pointed out, motivation's great. Discipline's better. If you want to be successful, discipline. It's all about discipline. The next one, practice radical honesty. Okay, get really, really honest with yourself. Most people are pulled into their own self-deception about a lot of things. And in regards to social issues and political stances, most people exist within echo chambers. And you want to challenge your beliefs. You want to challenge your world, your viewpoints in the world. I mean, if you really want to do an exercise, right, ask yourself, how do I deceive myself? What are my self-deception habits? And for extra credit, spend a week taking the stance of your so-called opponents, your fellow human beings, on social issues or politics or whatever, and play the devil's advocate and see if you can expand your mind and challenge your belief system. It'll be healthy for you. Some things will be solidified, and other things will fall away. Okay. Finally, this is a great starting point. This one is, to me, where you should start. Focus on what you can control. Seriously. The more that you focus on things that you can't control, or try to control things that you cannot control, the more weak and powerless you're going to feel. Focusing on things that you have no control over is being weak. That is something that will make you weak and will cause weakness in you. Focus on what you can't control. In my podcast episode, I mentioned this whole Israel-Palestine thing, that people are very, very emotionally involved in this. When it's like you have no control over this, you can't even influence it. You are a grain of sand in an ocean of people, y'all, right? And let it go. You have no control or no influence on this. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you can influence and what you can control. And radical honesty comes in here too. You have to get radically honest with yourself on what you actually can influence and what you can control. And those are hard things, but that's frankly just how some of the ways that you build mental strength. I'm sure there are others. I may add to the list later on down the road, but I feel like those are sort of the main ones. Okay. Now we have plenty to do. No excuses. All of that stuff could easily, and I mean this sincerely, keep you busy for a few years. If you are really diligent, they could easily keep you busy for a few years, and you'll only find more and more areas in your life. You're like, I just discovered this, and that needs some attention and all that as well. Okay. There you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, go check out my podcast, Healing Our Masculinity. I also have a Patreon page. So go check out the Patreon page. Lots and lots of good content over there on relationships and self-mastery and all kinds of good stuff over there. Happiness, things like that, things of that nature. No, honestly, if you ask me, there's nothing more important. There should be nothing more important than you working on yourself. It's going to be cheaper than therapy too. So go check it out. Go subscribe. Thank you. Hang in there. We'll see you next time.